What's going on, everybody? It's that Goya boy once again, RDG Ricky, coming at you live from the crib. Now. I've been so excited all day to talk about this, man. I mean, if you can't tell my voice and my gestures, I'm excited. Because today, we going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, what isn't there to talk about? I mean, we can start with everything, from here to there to everywhere. We could talk about it all. But today, we're going to talk about the head coaching situation. So, before I get any further ahead, and every Rican's famous last words, hey, yo, DJ, hit that. All right. So, to get started, Jason Garrett. We going to talk about them boys. Or so they were supposed to be them boys under Jason Garrett for the last 9 seasons. Now, hold up. I initially thought back then that was a good idea. You know, you want to spark a little continuity with your team. Jason Garrett being pretty much Jerry Jones' step-nephew, cousin, whatever you want to call him. Whatever made Jerry Jones stick with, let's be honest, this clown of a coach in Jason Garrett for this long. I mean, whatever floats the boats, they supposed to be them boys, but we know they just really weren't. I mean, it failed miserably. I mean, anytime you think of the Dallas Cowboys and Jason Garrett, you know what I would like to do when I think about them? I just think about taking his head, right, removing it, and I don't mean like in a carnage way. I'm talking about like Photoshop way. And you take a clown emoji and just put it on his shoulders, and then like it would be great. You can just, like, in my head I can picture it. Like this song right here, like this. Yeah, I know. Listen. Before I start getting all the hate from the Cowboys fans, listen, I can talk my shit on the Cowboys because I know what it's like to suck. I am a Bills fan. The last time they were good, I was a wet spot in my daddy's drawer, son. I'm telling you. They've been bad for so long. So, you know what? I can talk my shit and be okay with it. It's okay, guys. This could be a good hire for you guys in Mike McCarthy. Now that you got cousin out of the place, Mike McCarthy spent the night in Jerry Jones' house. A little weird if you ask me, but apparently that's what they do in Dallas. No offense to Dallas. No offense to none of y'all. I'm just running my mouth. But Mike McCarthy to the Cowboys, in my opinion, that is a very, very safe hire. When you've gone as long as the Dallas Cowboys have gone with the talent they have and just not be very successful. I mean, going with Mike McCarthy, like I said, is a safe hire because if you look at the resume, on the outside looking in, it looks fabulous. It looks great, don't it? So you think. I mean, his record kind of does speak for itself a little bit. I mean, he's 125, 77, and 2. And for all the mathematicians, non-mathematicians as myself, because you kidding me? I can't do that math out of my head. That's a 618 career winning percentage. Now, I'd say that's pretty darn good. He made the playoffs in 9 of his 13 seasons, including a Super Bowl win. That's pretty impressive. I mean, Super Bowl. Last time, when you're talking to Bills fans, Super Bowl, it's like you're speaking French. I mean, I didn't take French class in high school, so I have no idea. Super Bowl, it sounds great to me, don't it? Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, it could be good. The only problem is that the issues you may bring up is, boy, even my ignorant ass could probably have that same win percentage if I had two of one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. Paint it how you want. I'm not gonna get in a debate of who's top, whatever. But Brett Favre, solid. My boy's solid. Aaron Rodgers, future Hall of Famer. I can't remember the last time the Bills had a franchise quarterback. I'm a believer that Josh Allen has the potential. Jim Kelly was great. But that was so long ago. We're talking about here, now. The only issue that arises, man, just doesn't bode that well, and Cowboys fans, I'm warning you, it should be a big red flag. Don't think all roses now because they hired Mike McCarthy. How did that end in Green Bay? I don't know, man, and it ain't end too well. I'm telling you, it just didn't. Yeah, you got the good resume with Mike McCarthy and all that, but there was so much talk about Mike McCarthy and the way his coaching style, maybe a little antique. Maybe the game has gotten too advanced. That's just speculations and talk that was brought up. Anyone that watches football, you could see that for a time there, towards the end in Green Bay, that offense struggled. It struggled sometimes mightily. Now, granted, there was a lot of injuries on the receiver front for Green Bay, but you know what? Isn't that the job of the coach? Scheme guys open. There's ways. People just weren't really getting open, and a lot of the lack of creativity in that offense, it just really, it really didn't look very good at times, So, in my opinion, though, Dallas, on the upside, if we're gonna look at the better way of things, I'll stop bashing that. I'll stop bashing it for a second. On the good side of things, Dak Prescott, in my opinion, I think he's good enough for you to win with. I think he's good enough for you to go and make a deep playoff run. Now, you aren't gonna get that out of Jason Garrett. Let's just face it. I think I just want to stop talking about Jason Garrett because I don't want it to be a Jason Garrett bash session. But, he was overdue to go. The key is get my man Dak Prescott an offense in which he'd feel comfortable. Now, listen, this past year, 2019, did he lead the league? Was that the number one offense for a while? Yeah. The problem is, I don't know what occurred. Lack of consistency. I think the play calling was bad. Lack of keeping Zeke in the game, feeding him, little cereal thing he do. It just wasn't fluid like it should have been. The key to that is, they got weapons there. Dallas, you guys got weapons. The defense started all right, then became a little subpar. But the offensive weapons, they're there. It's there to be had, man. You got Michael Gallup, hey, great receiver. Randall Cobb, he's a little older, but he still puts in the work. Old man Jason Wynn, it's time to go, buddy. And not to the broadcast booth either, because you buns in there too. Out of there too. I think they can fortify that, but for the most part, you got the solid offensive line. You got Mr. Zeke. You got Dak Prescott. And then Amari Cooper. I think that once Dallas, I was on that board of, hey, Amari Cooper, a first-round pick for Amari Cooper. Now, listen, he did some pretty nice things in Oakland, but the picks you gave up for Amari Cooper, at first it sounded like you guys were desperate, but you know what? That pickup was, I feel, huge. It elevated, I think, Dak Prescott that much more a little bit. I really think it did. Amari Cooper, deep threat. Pretty much sure hands, free agent to be. Listen, I'm telling you right now, Dallas, y'all don't pick him up. Buffalo, Brandon Beane, get to it. The man can ball. Get that man in Buffalo. If y'all don't want him, I'll gladly take him. Not an open check, but I still take the man. So anyhow, as I said before, I think it was about time for them to make that change. And, and I think it could be. I think it could be a solid thing for the Dallas Cowgirls. Oh wait, sorry. I can't even say that because calling them the Cowboys, the Cowgirls, I'm like offending the cheerleaders at that point. So I apologize to you cheerleaders. I can't even do that to y'all no more. Now, I'm just curious to see how this is gonna work out for them. I really am. I mean, boy, that a collapse. And listen, as a Bills fan, I enjoyed on Thanksgiving that prat, 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 prat. You know what I mean? A little ass whooping y'all got. I was happy about that, because I don't have nothing personal against Dallas. I really don't. It's just more or less the fact of everything that goes with the Dallas Cowboys. You guys get the primetime games. You guys get the publicity. Y'all them boys. Not really, but man, it's like that win felt good. It really did. I mean, hey, we made the playoffs. At the time, after the win, we still didn't get the credit, but I was happy with that win. So, anyways, this concludes this segment here. Like, share, subscribe. Give me that feedback. Let me know what else. Clocking out for now. See y'all.